Hi, everyone. Today we see in our gospel Jesus doing a lot of what he does best, just going around preaching the gospel of God and doing so with signs and wonders. It starts with him curing a boy or a man who has a mute demon, and when he drives him out, then he is able to speak again. And people are amazed at this. The Pharisees discount it as Jesus driving out demons by the prince of demons. But then it goes on to say that he goes to all the towns and villages, he preaches in the synagogues, and he heals the sick, and he cures every disease and illness among the people. But then it says his heart is moved with pity for the people because they're like sheep without a shepherd. He turns to his disciples and say, "Pray to the master of the harvest to send out laborers for this harvest, that harvest that is abundant, but there are few laborers." I think today the Lord is asking still for more laborers for his harvest. I'd ask everyone to please pray with earnest fervor for an abundance of priests and religious for our Archdiocese of Dubuque and for all people all over the world, but especially here where we are, that there might be shepherds to lead us in the future, that we might have those hands to bring us the sacraments. Saint Benedict, who we celebrate today, he's the saint we celebrate on July 11th. He was one who was one of those laborers for the harvest, and he did so in a way that helped, like he got out of his comfort zone. I think so many of us we think that, okay, maybe this is the thing I should do is just maybe say something to this person once, or, and that's good. And I'm not discounting that as a good thing, but we should always be striving for something more. We should always be striving for the next step. How am I going to go about and preach the gospel of God? How am I going to go about and cure and heal other people as Jesus has called me to? Saint Benedict, he left the world when he was a teenager because he was so disillusioned with the sin and war, and he knew he needed to get away and just to be with God. He became a hermit, but then others were drawn to him. And so eventually he formed monasteries and became who we call the father of Western monasticism. There's a rule of Saint Benedict that is still followed today by thousands and thousands of religious all over the world who follow this rule that is very simple. It's a very small rule, but it's simple based on work and prayer, and it is known for its balanced lifestyle. This is the kind of thing that the Lord calls each of us to in some way, a way that we might get out of our comfort zone, so that we might be those laborers for the harvest that are so needed today. We need people who will stand up for Jesus. We need people who will preach the gospel with love. We need people who are not afraid to reach out to those who no one else wants to reach out to. That might be you today. Ask the Lord for his heart for you and for your ministry, that like Saint Benedict, you might boldly follow his prompting, and that you might preach the gospel of God. Be one of the laborers for the harvest, because the harvest is abundant, and we have few laborers now.